Fuck.
What?
Making loud noises and shit. Just like scaring the shit out of me. It's not cool, man. It's not cool.
Welcome to Pillow Talk, emergency session by Dave.
An emergency session. This is a regular ass recording.
Oh. We watched Space Cop. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So, Dave, what did you want to talk about in this horrible episode of Pillow Talk?
Let's start us off with some more of everybody's favorite Kickstarter news.
What happened in Kickstarter, Dave?
Oh, what hasn't happened in Kickstarter? Besides, like, 50% of the projects that are out there.
Let's talk about the big one. Well, the bigger, well, I guess it wasn't big. The interesting one. Ant Simulator.
Now, I would have backed this had I known about it.
Me too.
But after what happened, I'm glad I didn't.
Yes. So, Ant Simulator was basically going to be SimAnt, but for the modern age. And I don't know about you, but SimAnt was my jam back in the day. I was the Black Ant King.
Shit fucking ruled.
Or Queen. I'd be the Black Ant Queen. So you had Ant Simulator, an ant game for the modern age, kickstarted successfully.
4,000?
It was 4 or 5,000. A reasonable number, probably enough just to license everything and some meager expenses and yada yada yada. Oh god, I'm dying.
So that one had
There's people in here.
Fuck.
Screw you, I live here now.
Train of thought's
Screw you,
gone.
you're married to me.
Well, I mean, that is your job.
Okay.
Sing!
Ant Simulator, go!
I looked at the trailers for it and it looked really cool. But the controversy about it is that the
money's gone, son. Where'd
Yeah.
it go?
or more like in the thong of a stripper.
Or more like, or possibly even.
Yeah. Like that.
So what happened was the project got canceled after it was successfully funded, and the project lead, like the main developer of it, I forget his name, it's something funny, but he came out and he's like, so sorry guys, I'm gonna have to cancel the project.
And then people
because
are like, what?
My partners, who were what's the word?
Consultant.
Yeah, consulting company.
I don't even
went
know.
and
company.
spent. It was like
Point
just
is,
the
consultant.
Yeah, consulting company went and spent all of the money. Where'd they spend it? Restaurants,
Hookers!
strippers, but
Strippers!
some of them were possibly hookers too.
Probably hookers!
And after this, the project lead is like, I'm sorry everybody, I have to shut it down because my friends, like these were his friends that he partnered up with, went and spent all the money on restaurants and hookers and all this other dumb shit. Or strippers, sorry. All this dumb shit, they just blew all the money, money's gone. We don't have any more money to do anything with, so I have to cancel the project, and now, because of the way they wrote up the contract...
He can't touch them!
Yeah, everything's airtight, and I can't do anything about it, so now I'm gonna try and refund all of you guys, but it's gonna have to be out of my own wallet, because...
Brutal.
Because all the money's gone.
Brutal.
And then, he also went and said that he had to close down, the LLC. One letter. He had to close down the LLC that he founded with them, or not close it down, but leave and cut ties, and now Ant Simulator, because it's a product of that LLC, it's legally owned by them, and he's no longer a part of it, So he cannot ever work on it at any point in the future ever unless he joins back up with them. And he has to take down all the content for it, and he can't make any more content related to anything he worked on while under the LLC. Fun times.
That's so retarded. Oh, can I not say that? Whatever.
Dude, we say that all the time.
Fuck the quacks. Of course, then his business associates / consultants, friends, quote harder, damn it. They basically said, "Oh no, he's lying. We didn't spend it on hookers and strippers, but we spent it on legitimate business meetings."
Yeah,
to hire programmers. I've never ever been hired for a position and gone to a restaurant. I've always been in an office on my own time.
I don't know. Well, think about it one way. This is an indie project, and these two yutzes that he partnered with were apparently like his college buddies or some shit.
Friends.
Yeah, they were his friends. And I mean, because this is an indie development and they're asking for $4,000 for the project, like, they can only pay people a lump sum up front, and they can't hire too many developers, and they can't pay them too much.
You don't need one.
So they probably don't have a fucking office. Like,
okay.
Or, well, no, they said they went and rented an office space, and that's where some of the money went. But
Skype.
I don't fucking know. Either way,
it sounds like a bunch of horse shit on their end. I'm Laura and Lou to believe the guy who has to refund out of his own pocket.
Well, the whole thing seems a little fishy to me from both of their ends. Like, if you go and look at the site that, like, they were running for Ant Simulator, what's his face, the project lead.
It's called What's His Face.
Yeah, his name's What's His Face now. It doesn't matter. Some, like, E.T. were his initials or something.
E.T.
Like that. Yeah, it's E.T. Phoning home. He went, and after this move was done, where he called them out and said, like, oh, you're hiring strippers and spending all the money, he removed himself and all of the Ant Simulator things and just anything of his from the site, and now all it shows is basically the two guys who he partnered with and this super, super generic mission statement of...
Oh, you have it.
Oh, no, I don't actually.
Oh.
It's on my desktop. I'm lazy. It's super generic. Basically amounts to something along the lines of, oh, we strive for excellence and creativity and new solutions.
Probably.
Yeah, like they just use a bunch of corporate buzzwords. And then the pictures of them are the most unflattering pictures I've ever seen.
Aren't they all in suits?
They're both wearing suits, and they both look like so faked up to make it look like they're
legit.
Like, one of them is a picture of the two of them having a business conversation, which looks fake as fuck.
Look at your phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he's just like... And if you look at the two of them, the one looks like well, they both do pretty much look like scammers.
The Ponzi scheme masters.
The second one, though, like the beard, the curly hair I think he had, he looks like discount Seth Rogen. So he looks like someone who has... Like, neither of these guys look like they know what they're fucking talking about or doing.
Reth Soken?
Yes, Reth Sogen. But it's still weird because when they had their little like rebuttal, they're like, oh, well, we don't know what the fuck he's doing because everything was going, I mean, sort of alright, but there were problems with the game as it was. Like, the shit you see in like the gameplay demos, like the alpha build and stuff like that, they're like, oh, it's what you see in these videos is cool, but that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Like, if you try to play this game for like 4 minutes, you will realize that you have done everything you can in 4 minutes. And they were having a real hard time getting shit off the ground as far as finding actual shit for you to do.
Just copy SimAnt.
Considering the fact that they only have one programmer right now, like, the other guys weren't developers, they were consultants. So basically, project lead went out, handed it to them, and was like, go find me more developers to help work on this.
How hard could it be to do that? I mean, what were they using? Unity? Unity, which looked good for a Unity game, but I think the Force is also Unity, and that looked better. But it's SimAnt for the future, the modern age. What did I do in SimAnt? You got food, you expanded your colony, you had your queen spit out babies, and then you attacked the red colony, you moved on to the next fucking square. While avoiding the spider, the human with the goddamn lawnmower, and the dog barking at you. And you did that till you got in the house and you wrecked the entire yard and it was entirely a black ant colony.
Oh, that was like the conquest mode. There was like the story mode and then there was the conquest mode. Conquest mode.
Conquest mode was the shit.
Yeah, it was.
Because I remember, I got the game, I had this on Windows 98. But anyway, the computer was so shit, they programmed the spider in that game where if you started reaching a very high ant limit, the spider would get laser beams and shoot your ants. I'm not kidding.
That's some, like, Command and Conquer levels of retardation right there.
I should find a video. But yes, if you got your ant colony too high on a specific square, the spider would get a laser beam and start nuking all your ants because it needs to trim them down. For the memory, I think probably for memory reasons, but I'm not sure. But that was all you did. You collected food, you had sex, you conquered, you won. That was it. Just do that in 3D. I'd be happy.
See, I'll say this, I don't really know who to side with in this whole shitstorm, because both of them kind of...
They both sound guilty.
They both sound...
something.
Well, they both sound like they have a legitimate claim, but there's just too much behind what each one of them says for somebody to not be guilty here, and it seems like they're both doing something wrong. God knows what it is.
Alright.
Like they said, the project lead was claiming they were having issues with getting the PS4 dev kits that they wanted, and that was like halting development or something.
Let's just do the PC version, port later.
Well, yeah, that's one thing entirely. Like, why bother? I don't understand why Kickstarter projects are so insistent on getting on consoles when most of them, they're not resource-intensive games by any stretch of the imagination, so anyone with, like, a D-grade laptop can play them.
Yes.
So why not just start there, get some actual money, get the name out, and then worry about getting yourself on consoles if you really still want it.
Because it only costs $100 to get Steam, put it on Steam Greenlight, and I think from there, then you can gauge the true popularity of your game. Apart from Kickstarter.
But what they were saying was that wasn't true at all. Sony, like, they said they were apparently talking to Sony, and Sony's like, yeah, sure, we'll send you a dev kit. All you gotta do is get us a solid alpha build and get that to us, and we'll hook you up. But
should I believe it? They went
Project Lead, who was the only developer they had working on any of this at the time, was apparently struggling to get any viable gameplay off the ground outside of what you see in the YouTube videos.
Which is...
Like, basically, they're saying what happened was he just, out of nowhere, like, Project was kind of struggling while they're out trying to get people in to work on this, and he decided to cut and run, pin everything on them, and take all of the money that was still there, which was most of it, and put it into a private account that the consultants couldn't touch. It just sounds like a fucking fishy-ass story. But the whole thing like from what I'm seeing as far as reactions on the internet goes, it just kind of seems like when something goes wrong and you don't want to be blamed for it, be the first one to speak up. Yes. Because currently, as far as I last saw it, everybody is still siding with the project lead and his sob story because he was the one who stepped up first.
I guess I found it more believable when people start posting proof that they actually started getting refunds. Because then it's like, okay, well, so you cut and run with the money, but you're giving out refunds. Where's your gain out of this? You're just going to come up with a loss.
I think he's just saying that he's going to give out refunds because he knows he has no legal obligation to, because Kickstarter doesn't always go after these projects.
They're not going to go after this
Technically, they're supposed to, because
it's a commitment, and you are paying for a product.
Well, that's not even the thing. The thing is,
you're paying for a promise.
You're paying for, well, basically you are helping fund it, and the project creators are only liable for the backer rewards. Yes. Actually, the thing is, most Kickstarter projects throw the actual product into the backer rewards. So technically, if it succeeds and people don't get their shit, yeah, people could go after them, but it doesn't always happen. But I don't know. It sounds fishy as fuck. I don't really like either side enough to go with it, because everybody's painting such a fantabulous picture here. It's too ridiculous. Both stories are just absolutely fucking ridiculous, and it's hard to pick which one is more believable.
Yes.
So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in like a month or so, when they can actually, because they said they're gonna sue him. So we'll see if that actually pans out.
Yeah, this might be one I'll follow.
There's yet to be an update as of today, at least as far as I could find. Kickstarter's a bummer.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those, you have to be careful what you back.
Another Kickstarter bummer. Mighty Number 9.
I'm glad I didn't back that. I was close. But then I'm like, Shantae's got my money. And I put my money to Shantae, and I'm pleased.
I backed Mighty Number 9.
I'm so sorry.
I believe I was going to go for like one of the higher tiers, like I think 60, because it was supposed to be like a physical copy with box and all that stuff, like just for the sake of cool collector's items. But then I'm like, no, I don't actually need this at all. So I dropped it down to like 20, which was just what you needed for like the base game and the soundtrack.
Yes.
And
aren't you glad you did?
Yeah, really glad, because guess what? The game that was supposed to be out in, what was it, April of last year?
Yes.
And then pushed back to like December?
Yes.
And then pushed back again to this month?
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
It got pushed back again. You know why?
Multiplayer.
Again! It's the fucking multiplayer that nobody wanted, no one cares about. And yet they're they're having all these problems trying to get networking right because they put it on so many systems.
Just release the single player game and then patch in the multiplayer.
No shit!
That's what every other company does these days. Patches, DLC.
Day one DLC.
I hate this industry.
I do too, and it's such a shit show as far as like day one patches and DLC. Like day one patches, okay, I guess that makes a little sense. I still don't like the idea that they're releasing broken games and then scrambling to fix them before the street date.
Unity.
But I mean, in a sense, DLC, like day one DLC, isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just so few publishers and developers are trustworthy that it's actually like new content. What seems to be happening more often than not is it's cut content. Like, I said the magic words, didn't I?
You did.
As it stands, I mean, it's a fairly benign concept because, you know, a game goes gold several months before release while they deal with, you know, advertising, prepping the actual, like, physical products, said advertising. Just, you know, preparing it for release.
Yes.
So, during that time, no one can work on it because it's in code freeze. And that's where...
Supposedly.
Yeah, that's where DLC comes in, because it's their little loophole to keep working on it. If they don't have another project lined up, they need something to do. Otherwise, they're either not getting paid, or whoever's paying them is paying them to do nothing. So they come up with DLC. I mean, that's a fair idea, except that's usually not what happens.
You get Mass Effect 3 tier DLC, like day one, Jarvis, $10.
Oh, that was more than planned.
Oh no,
That was planned from day one of development, which was like halfway through Mass Effect 2's development. There's no way that wasn't premeditated wallet rape. I don't like this industry anymore, Roger. I don't like it.
I hate video games.
Plus, like I said,
I could kill myself. That's a good idea.
it is nice that they have the ability to fix things that they know are broken before it releases,
But they're kind of abusing it.
they're abusing it. Case in point, game I've been playing a lot of lately, XCOM 2.
I haven't played it. It looks very uninteresting to me. I hate turn-based games.
I like it. I like it a lot. But
You won't catch me playing Fire Emblem.
it's a huge pain in the dick because that game is so poorly optimized and full of fucking glitches.
I heard 970s are having trouble running the game at a decent rate.
Yup. I don't even have a 970. I've got the last gen of graphics cards.
You
the
have-
one that Nvidia is now gimping.
You have a 560. That
Yeah.
is far beyond last generation.
Well, either way.
You have a grandpa card.
I've got a grandpa card. I've got one of the cards that Nvidia is purposefully gimping to try and make people buy new cards.
I have a 660. I don't think they're gimping
And-
that yet.
I can actually run, like, if I get in a mission and I'm just doing a regular ass mission, there could be explosions and shit going all over the place. I can have the settings cranked to damn near max. The only thing that I have to turn down is the anti-aliasing,
I turn that down anyway.
because it's the, what was it, MSAA or whatever?
Yes.
That's a shit hog on resources, and apparently nobody likes that setting because it's just stupid.
I turn it off on every game. It's just it is a resource hog.
Like-
It does nothing for me.
I turned that to one of the lower AA settings, and everything runs fine. Until I get back to base, or a cutscene plays. Then the game just shits the bed. For no reason. For no goddamn reason. And then there's just ridiculous glitches, your game can freeze, your save files can corrupt, your troops can get frozen in place, not being able to move at all. They can just shoot or use another action, can't move, so they're fucked. They at least don't have the 100% chance shots can miss this time like they did in the first game. But it's a fucking glitchy mess, and there's still no word on a patch
Yeah, good
when
luck.
they're gonna fix any of that,
Good luck. Why do they have to fix it? They already got your money.
right?
They don't give a shit, technically.
And they've already got their season passes planned.
I don't want to talk about those. Oh. So, Dave, back from our hard cut. Two cats.
I love this industry, Roger. You know why?
Why?
Because now we're in the age of actual good virtual reality. And you know what we're doing with it?
Having sex with it.
Yes, actually.
Vigorously. Non-stop.
Vigorous thrusting.
Who needs women?
When you have Virtua Dolls. Best Indiegogo campaign ever.
Look it up. Google it.
No, thank you.
Do it.
No.
You do it.
I already know what it is.
Oh.
It's virtual reality combined with basically a flashlight.
For those of you who don't know,
Fancy flashlight. That thing is ridiculous.
That's why I said basically.
It sums it up. I might have to adjust the audio, but yes, that sums up exactly what it is.
You can feel what you see. Fancy graphic. Not our graphic, but fancy graphic. This thing is honestly fucking terrifying. It's huge. It's like this big.
Over 20 pounds of pussy ass.
It's like this big. The machine is this big. And it's got like this cage around it that has all of the mechanics that jerk you off. And there's a vacuum inside of it to simulate blowjobs. And there's different textures you can have on the inside.
I'm gonna leave that logo right there for a while. Right there. Right there.
It's horrifying. But it's the coolest fucking thing ever.
Are you gonna get one? Are you gonna back that Kickstarter Indiegogo?
Probably not. Like, as hilarious as it would be to have one of these things, and just how interesting it would be to try it. I don't want one of these in my house. I don't want to be that guy.
You just got your tits and ass in your house.
I know.
Roger, you are not going to be that guy either.
Dave! Are you winning, son? Oh. Fuck. Okay. Okay.
God. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh god, I don't even know where to start with this thing though. It's just horrifying.
I think we should just move on. We've said all we needed to.
I will say, it is really funny, like the base, or like the starting software they're including with it, like the Virtua Dolls game.
The fleshlights.
If you can call it that. I've noticed something that a lot of people who are trying to make like digital porn, like video game porn, the companies that are trying to do this are very, very out of touch with what people find attractive, and it's always just these really low...
Ugusokwai.
They do have one of those in there. They have like a girl for every fucking taste, and the anime one is terrifying because it looks like they got a completely different person than whoever designed the rest of the girls and modeled them and everything, except that other person that they got to do it is not an anime artist or anything, so it looks...
Am I Kawaii Oni-chan?
Brianna Wu's game. Think of that. It looks like that, except with, like,
Animal
normal
eyes.
proportions, but it's got, like, creepy fucking Uncanny Valley giant eyes. It's got, like, slightly exaggerated proportions, and it's not anime if it doesn't have pink hair.
No, of course not.
Oh god, this thing. It's horrible and amazing at the same time, and I love it. I love that this is where we're going.
The future.
And just think,
A video game.
as they're creating this, as they're developing it, somebody has to test this.
Yes. Think about that. Maybe it's one or two people who have to test it. Maybe they gotta share the same device. It's like
I'm sure they clean it.
Yeah, it's like a gym. Clean. You wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. Then the next person uses it.
Does it have a drainage hole?
Ew.
Probably. Don't most do?
I would hope so.
I believe it does.
I don't know. Oh Jesus!
I think it uses the vacuum in it, like the blowjob vacuum, and you just like squirt the water in there, and then the vacuum
That's not water, honey.
Well, your soapy water cleaner solution, whatever. You squirt whatever you use to clean it in there, and it's the vacuum also serves the double function of easy cleaning.
We're getting close to Rick and Morty, man. That sex bot. Oh, lordy.
The thing's huge.
Ooh, lord.
This big.
Lordy.
You have to sit with this in your lap. And there's a controller strap on. You can strap your controller to it so you can basically fuck your controller.
For the man who really loves his PS4.
So
That gives a whole new meaning to X-Bone. Ooh.
God, what a world we live in.
It's glorious.
Good time to be alive.
We may have been too late to explore the world. We'll definitely die before we explore the universe, but damn it, we're gonna experience virtual sex.
What a time to be alive, Roger. We've got Mario, Sonic, Cloud, Ryu, and Bayonetta all in the same game.
Yes.
And we've got virtual sex machines.
So at some point, you'll be able to fuck Mario in one of these games.
Probably, it's open source.
There you go. Okay.
Strap your controller onto it and just grab on, be like you're grabbing Mario from behind.
We finally have Rosalina.
Plumb his pipes.
God.
Pretend you're Luigi, plumbing Mario's pipes.
We can get a male version of this that actually thrusts. You'll never see me again.
I believe they are working on a female-oriented version.
I'm dying. I'm dying, Squirtle.
Roger just can't. He's white girling so hard.
I can't even.
Quick, get him a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, kill yourself. Well, I'm done. Moving on. Let's talk about that other thing we wanted to talk about.
What other thing?
I don't remember, actually. I was hoping you would just go into it. We were going to talk about how Peter Molyneux quit, but that was just a fake tweet.
But the guy who won the cube is still fucked.
Yeah, he's not seeing anything. He's not God. He's not even seen a prophet.
Because they don't even talk to him.
Peter
Poor guy.
Molyneux is.
Peter Molyneux's a hack.
Yes, he is.
He made, he worked on Fable. That was, the only good thing he did. Black and white, I guess.
I never played any of those games.
They're alright, but they lost the charm after they lost the charm after the first one. And if you spent too much time on the first one, that lost the charm as well, because that was the really old, archaic morality system that
Yes.
games had, where it was either, do you want to save the orphans or burn the orphans, and then rape the puppies.
Did you say rape the puppies?
Yes,
Okay.
rape their puppies, rape the orphans' puppies. 'Cause
okay.
There's no middle ground. It's
Oh.
you were either a good person or you were just Satan incarnate.
So, okay. So, yeah, Peter Molyneux is still making things. His Twitter was hacked or something. What was the other thing we were going to talk about?
EA is done with E3.
EA is not an E3, much like Nintendo is not longer an E3.
You know why? Because EA is doing their own gigantic fucking E3. And I gotta ask, what's the point? What do they have that anyone really cares about anymore?
Madden.
That anyone really cares about anymore?
The Battlefield.
That anyone really cares about anymore?
FIFA.
That anyone besides Brazilians cares about anymore? Besides... Oh wait, no.
Besides Dude Bros.
I was gonna say Brazil is stopping the gaming industry, but no,
That's Nintendo.
That's just Nintendo. Nintendo's pulling out of Brazil.
Yes.
Because taxes.
What does EA do besides that now?
They own BioWare.
They're not doing anything with it.
They have Mirror's Edge 2.
It looks terrible. I don't want to play it. No.
I thought maybe it could be good until
you saw the trailer and you just realized it's just going to be another generic action game.
So what's the point?
Because it has a female protagonist, and that's the hot button these days.
Explore her mysterious origins or something. Fun! Origin stories are where it's at. Just gotta tack Chronicles or Origins or... Fuck, what's the other, like, 2 big ones that they like to tack on games now?
Definitive Edition. Remastered.
Origins Chronicles Remastered Definitive Edition Game of the Year includes all DLC
and over 20 pounds of pussy and ass.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh, Christ.
And then we've got fucking GameStop, who is now getting into the publishing industry. Isn't this gonna be a good time?
No. They keep pestering me with their goddamn credit card offer. Stop. Amazon already owns my soul.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you know that their employees have to do that, otherwise they get yelled at.
Oh no, this is just emails.
Oh, well then.
But yes, even
well,
like on the
Roger, you know their automated system has to do that, otherwise it gets yelled at or fired.
I believe it, actually.
Probably. This system's not spamming enough emails. They just rip out the hard drive and throw it away. Get a new one.
So the code was on that one.
You make new ones. Make new code. Do it.
I swear those higher-ups at GameStop are just out of touch with the youth of today.
Well, like, it's kind of bizarre how all into this project they are. It's by Insomniac, and it's this little indie game called Song of the Deep or something like that. And from the looks of things, it looks like a little kind of Metroidvania-esque thing. You're in a sub and going around underwater caves and shit. And GameStop's all fucking in on this, and it's weird. Like, they're planning full-on...
Is it like
partnering with the pop vinyl people to like get figures for this?
Is it kind of
gonna sell merchandise for it?
Is it kind of like how EA was when Dead Space first hit the scene, where you had, you know, like comic books, toys, the movie, all before the game came out?
They're Insomniac's partnering with some book publishing company to get their stuff out in Barnes and Noble.
Oh Jesus.
As far as the game distribution goes, the only place you can buy a physical copy of it is GameStop.
Go figure.
Otherwise, it's digital only. And I don't know, this is just really weird. Because now, basically, GameStop gets all of the money, regardless of whether it's a new or used sale.
Hey,
they
got the money to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Go. Kind of need more.
It's just a really bizarre scenario.
Maybe they'll be the ones that take down EA, and then they'll become EA.
That would happen real quick if they did, because their business practices are pretty much just as bad.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I don't like the idea of GameStop being in the publishing industry.
What are you gonna do to stop it? Nothing. You're just gonna
Exactly. I'm gonna do nothing, including not shopping at GameStop.
I don't shop there anymore now. I get all my shit from Amazon.
I'm already doing about as much as I'm gonna do to stop it.
Oh god.
Because I've stopped shopping there because there's no reason.
Really
Amazon owns my soul. They give me points for stuff. GameStop gives me points, but I have to pay them money for my rewards membership. And all the points get me is just dumb chintzy crap on their website. And I don't want any of it.
You can get it on Amazon for cheaper.
Yeah. It's pointless.
Like the Gravity Rush remaster. That was $7 cheaper on Amazon if you had Prime. That was cool. Got my nips hard.
Amazon, pay us sponsorship. Please.
They'll probably sue us.
Oh.
Moving on. Is that it? Or did you have more? I thought you had more.
Did I?
I don't remember. We were going to talk about Peter Molyneux until you looked up 5 minutes prior and then realized his Twitter was hacked.
Well, to be fair, I saw that story like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And I don't fact check till like the day of.
Here at Pillow Talk, we get our
like it raw. We do it live.
We get our sources from
Us.
yeah, from our ass.
From right.
Yeah.
Wow, your pants stayed on this time.
There's a lot of cat hair on your butt. What's dog hair?
It's
It's everything at this point.
Every living creature's in Dave's house now. Oh my god. I don't have anything, man.
Got nothing?
I got nothing.
You're spent?
It's a short episode. Normally we just ramble on. And then we ramble some more. But not this time. Maybe cats can go check out Pikachu. Oh. He's dead!